I came in the house earlier today and saw a piece of paracord lying around that I had forgotten about. And of course, it struck me that my Kung Fu brother Shug would have definitely urged me to put it on as a tassel on my sword for my training today. And because I hate tassels on swords, I always hate doing it. But since it was my brain and not Shug, I did it. So I thought I'd actually make a video about why I hate tassels and why you gotta have a tassel. So ideally you have a decent sword, right? We're talking about Jian, right? I've got a folding one. This is the one that I take with me all over the place. It's a nice sword. I got it from Shanghai, I believe, the Shanghai Wushu team. And they have a website. I just can't remember what it is right now. Anyway, the tassel on the end of the sword. So I'm going to just pick this up. So you can see all I've done is just tie a string around it, tied the two strings together, and then on the end of each of my tassels I tied another little knot just to give it a little bit more weight. So here's the deal. This is what I was taught about it. To train Jian properly, at some point you have to train your solo sets with a tassel on it. And the reason is that when you're training slowly, that's important. You have to start this slowly or you'll just be frustrated. If you're training slowly and you're going through a sword set or sword drills or anything, if the tassel wraps around your wrist and ties you up, there was a mistake somewhere. Okay? So ideally you're doing it slowly because, first of all, then you have a better chance of feeling it touch your wrist and you're able to manipulate a little bit more, but also there's no momentum to deal with yet. So once you can go through, like when I was doing it the first time with Shug, my Kung Fu brother, is one of my Tai Chi teachers. He made me do the Yang style that he was teaching me with it, and every time it wrapped around my wrist, I had to start the form again. We're talking like months to be able to do the form in front of him, right? Because it couldn't be around my wrist. It just couldn't. Anyway, so I've always played with it through the years with Bagua sets and Mantis sets and all kinds of stuff, and I always hate it. And the reason I hate it is because it's so subtle. It's so complex to try to make sure that that training tool is always in use properly and not wrapping around your wrist, and then being able to adjust it so that even at speed, when you've got a lot of momentum, it doesn't matter. I've never done it. I'm no good with a tassel on my sword. I haven't trained with it enough. So, I put it on today in honor of my brother. I'll make sure that I give him a text that lets him know that I'm suffering yet again. Other than that, there's something else that maybe I'll mention. There's